Welcome to the channel, I'm Josh. I recently visited France for a conference, and while I was there, I made it my mission to test out eSIMs. So, after some speed tests, using these providers to upload large work files, and general daily activities, I've narrowed down my best eSIMs for travel 2024 options to 3 providers. An eSIM replaces the traditional SIM card. It isn't physical, so you can thankfully forget those tiny, irritating pins that you needed to pop open your phone slot. You see, an eSIM is a digital replacement for your physical SIM, which means you can temporarily use another telephone provider while you travel. The biggest perk is that it saves you from harsh tariff fees and international roaming charges. Add to that cheap data abroad, overall convenience, and secure connections worldwide, and their growing popularity makes sense. But like always, there are some cons worth knowing. Not all phones are compatible with eSIMs, and depending on the country you're visiting, the selection might be limited. If you need to check your phone compatibility or eligibility, you can do this on the eSIM provider's website. Alright, all things considered, which eSIM won't get in the way of you becoming Mr. Worldwide? The first is Saily. This eSIM provider offers plans across 150 countries, with some being 5G. Despite only offering plans that let you cover a single country of your choice and no calls or SMS included, this is actually the cheapest eSIM option out of all my picks. Keep in mind, the price and eSIM data caps change depending on your location and package. The lowest being 1 GB for 7 days, and the highest is 10 or 20 megabytes for 30 days. If you want a no-frills eSIM that has simple, cheap plans and is only needed for a single location, then Saily is perfect. You can scan the QR code on the screen now to get the best possible price. Moving on, in this best eSIM for travel video, we have Airalo. They've been in the game for a few more years than Saily, and it shows in their versatility, with plans stretching across 200 countries and 5G data available in specific countries. On top of that, they have local, regional, and even global plans. These each tailor to all types of travelers. Regional, covering whole continents like Europe or Asia, and global, stretching across 124 countries. Best of all, the global plans have an option to add SMS and calls, but they can be a little limited. But this comes at a price. While Airalo is not expensive considering the coverage you get, it can seem a bit more than other providers. With that said, Airalo is clearly for the all-or-nothing traveler who wants to stay completely connected, regardless of their destination. And it gives you the option to use all means of communication too. By the way, if you want more on either of these providers, you can check the full tutorials on my channel. Next is Nomad. Now, despite their name being a few characters away from an 18-year-old influencer's Insta handle, it's actually a pretty good eSIM. Being the oldest on this list, it would seem they've paved the way with plans in 165 countries and offering 5G in some of these. They too offer local, regional, and global packages with calls and SMS available in the US or Canada only. However, their pricing is a little different from the others, with plans starting as low as this for 1 GB and generally offering the cheapest packages across European or Asian countries. This provider is arguably the best eSIM for world travel, considering they cover 8 regions and have highly flexible plans. Turning up the heat a little bit, I want to quickly talk about performance. What's important to note here is that when you want to use data in another country, speed can differ massively. Not only does the service carrier determine this, but how remote your location is can be a factor too. With that in mind, I tested all 3 of these providers across different locations in France to see which was the fastest and most consistent. Alright, my first test was with Saily. Opening social media apps, watching YouTube videos, and general light activities were totally fine. The eSIM activation did take a bit of extra time compared to the other 2, and download and upload speeds were not the fastest in my Ookla testing. This is a surprise because eSIM providers typically lease network infrastructures from existing carriers, so it's quite possible that a lot of them use the same carriers in France. This would make me think that the performance shouldn't really be that different, but Airalo was clearly the fastest. A silver lining here is that I contacted Saily to let them know about the lesser performance, offered all the locations I visited and how the tests were performed, and they gave a list of stuff that they'd do to improve their speeds in the future. A proactive attitude I can definitely get behind. Now, to compare the last 2, the difference is more marginal. Airalo had very good results in France in terms of speed, but I did experience cutouts and larger file uploads were a bit of a hassle. With Nomad, Not much to say here, the results were consistent with general activities and speeds were good. So I would argue any of these best eSIM 2024 options are ideal for accessing the internet abroad. Each will connect, let you access maps and other crucial applications. Just consider whether you'll be doing light activities or downloading and streaming content regularly. And once you've made up your mind, you can use the links below to buy your plan. To conclude, which type of traveler will each eSIM suit? Saily is more than affordable and great if you just need a single country eSIM with light internet use. Airalo is the best eSIM option for full coverage, with the ability to add SMS and calls to any data package. And Nomad has excellent global coverage and stable speeds as long as you don't need SMS or calls outside of the US or Canada. But are there any other eSIM providers you'd like me to cover in the future? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and safe travels.